Let's have a look at this. This is an Oliver Stone-like performance.
Morning friends, I'm Chris THRALL.
A former Royal Marines Commando from Devon has tonight reached Land's End after running all the way from John O'Groats. Chris THRALL has run an ultramarathon every day.
And I will be leading a team of elite fighting veterans.
I'm Stephen Bowden, I'm a Royal Marines Corporal.
I'm Jace Patterson, Served in Her Majesty's Royal Marines.
I'm Sean, Royal Marine. Chris Stewart, Captain in 23 Parachute Field Ambulance.
To Achnacarry in Scotland, training ground, Churchill's Commandos. Recreating the Royal Marines' legendary 9-mile speed march, raising money for the Royal Marines charity. Please get involved by following us on social media or chucking a fiver in. Thank you.
There we go. Did you see how I managed to cram the BBC video in there? Well, you've got to have a bit of self-promotion if you do what I do, right? But on a serious note, this is just almost the irony involved here is, God, I'm so proud to be leading this event. I'm leading hard fighting men. You heard them there, Royal Marines Commandos up to Scotland, and we're going to smash out the 9-mile commando test that most people struggle to do when they're 18 years old, and we're like 50, 51, 52 years old, right? Just so proud to be involved in this, and yeah, just make of that what you will, what you will, folks. Okay, what do we think of the video? Yeah, Sugar Tom said platoon was incorrect in Vietnam. Sugar Tom, have you read this excellent book? Excuse my gymnastics, I'm going to try and grab it from the shelf without smashing down my my studio. I'll be back. I'll be back, as Arnold Schwarzenegger says. It's this book, Matterhorn, by Carl Melantes. I'll put a link below this video. Let me just make a note. And it's not about the Matterhorn in Switzerland. Is it Switzerland or France, you know, in the Alps? No, this was one of the hills in Vietnam, up there in the north, in the mountainous forest. And book's incredible, guys. Really incredible. Look how big it is. Look. Took Cole years and years to write, from what I understand. And, you know, one of the things you get out of this is just the hatred that many of these troops had for their officers. They used to do something called fragging, where you'd get a grenade and you'd roll it under the tent of your commanding officer in the nighttime, and you'd execute them, basically, if they'd, let's say, dissed you in the field, or if they were a useless officer and they kept getting you into trouble. Yeah, wow, what a book. I'll put a link below. But tough fighting up there, miserable, freezing cold, all coming down with trench foot and all these other conditions. And again, going back to Sugar Tom's comment, you do get the impression that there was a black army and a white army, and that the black army was much bigger than the white one. In fact, when I was in Washington DC, there's a statue there. I'll don't know if I can find a photo of it now, but there's a statue called the Vietnam Memorial. Not the wall. This is a statue, and it's 2 black men and a white soldier. And the joke at the time when the statue came out was it should have been 3 black soldiers. Not sure if I've got the photo here. We'll have a look at some photos in a bit, huh? Photos are always good. They always seem a bit popular on the channel. Let me get down to the V's to see if I can find this picture. V, down, down. Ah, yeah. Here we go. Look, I found it. Dun, dun, dun. It's quite interesting. When I was in Washington, there were still groups campaigning for the POWs in Vietnam. I'm going to be really honest here, friends, and feel free to put your ideas in the comments, but these groups seem to believe that the Vietnamese were so evil that even back in the 90s, they still had captured American POWs in these kind of Rambo-like prison camp conditions. Do you know what I mean? Like in the cages, fed pig slop, this kind of stuff. I think it goes back to what I'm always saying, or that I say a lot, and that's that you remember, history is written by the winners. History's not true. Sorry to burst the bubble. It's just not true. It's a version of the truth, but it's a version of the truth that suits certain people, isn't it? Yes. Tom saying the black guys were bigger, like 6'4" against 5'8". Yes, you're right there, mate. And I tell you why. When I worked on the door in Hong Kong, and an American ship came in, you'd get these guys wandering through Wan Chai, so the red light area, the clubland area in Hong Kong. My God, they were huge. Huge. You go to Norfolk, Virginia, where their aircraft carrier are at the Virginia Naval Base. You just see guys like the size of them you just don't see in the UK. And the reason is that when their ancestors were taken as slaves in Africa, the slavers, the traders, would go for the big guys. Because when they got taken back to the USA to then be auctioned off to work on the plantations, obviously you got a lot more money for a big, tall, muscly dude that had good genetics. So you might have seen in some of those films that have been made. Was it Alexander McQueen made that one? What's the name of it, folks? Something Days a Slave or something. But in those kind of films, or if you read the book Roots, that one of the things they do is when the slave landed in the USA, they would inspect them. So they check teeth, they check their bits, they check up all this sort of stuff. And they were looking for imperfections. They were looking for like genetic imperfections and stuff that might indicate that this guy might get sick, as opposed to this guy who's just going to get in the field and he's going to do the work of probably 20 men. So yeah, so that's why you see a lot of big black dudes in the American Navy and American forces. Okay, shall we have a look at some, or did I answer all the questions on the speed march? So we're going up to Aknakari. So it's the Second World War. Churchill has put the shout out for commandos. They can come from any of the services. They want young men. I say young men. There were young women that went behind enemy lines, but they were more, I think, in the secret agent capacity. But they wanted young men to go behind enemy lines for these daredevil commando raid missions, carrying their weapon and their Fairburn Sykes commando knife, so they could take out sentries on the German installations, or I guess Italian installations as well, right? And young men answered the call, knowing that many of them, when they were sent behind the enemy lines, they might not come back. They trained at a place called Aknakari in Scotland. It's a rugged wilderness. It's now where the Commando Memorial is. I'll get you a picture of that. This memorial is absolutely stunning. Let me just see. Look at that. Just amazing, isn't it? It's so picturesque up there. I ran through these mountains. In fact, I ran over the top of one of them when I ran the length of the country for a veterans charity. But just look at these men's faces and see if you notice something. I actually ran all the way up to the memorial on my run. Do you see these guys' faces? Do you see what I see? They're wearing the cap comforter, which is the sign of a commando. It's what you get issued if you get to week 24 in Royal Marines training. You get the honour of wearing the cap comforter. That's before you get your green beret, right? So what I was going to point out is, don't they look odd? I mean, compared to today's modern intake into the military, these guys actually look like men of granite, don't they? They're standing on granite. They look like men of granite. None of this blooming, we recruit snowflakes. Yes, hard men. Many paid the ultimate sacrifice. Allegedly, I say allegedly because remember, we don't know. You never know the truth with history. It's written by the winners, but Adolf Hitler brought out his commando order. Any commandos captured behind enemy lines would be executed. And I do believe this is a part of history that is of the Second World War narrative that is accurate. Thank you, Sugar Tom. Was he incredibly handsome? Is that what you meant? Yeah. So there was such a threat to the enemy forces that apparently they were to be executed on sight. If they were caught. And I think many were. Watch a bit more of this, shall we? Hang on. Right, men. I want you to go over to this log and I want you to lift it up. Lots of times. That's it. Lean over. Lean over a bit more. And jump. Jump. Oh, very clever. Bloody hell. Could you imagine people today doing that? They'd be getting out there. I've got asthma, Corporal. I'm excused from this. I don't want to do it, Corporal. Someone's even shooting at them, look. I've got to keep pausing it, folks, because like I say, it's not my material. Bloody hell. Look at this, look. I'll just play this bit. It just looks cold, wet and hard, doesn't it? Well, there we go. This is the Seb. This is taking out the enemy sentry. This is where the knife comes into play, I believe. To see him kick him in the nuts. Good drills. Right. Alright, better not play any more of that, but these videos are on YouTube, folks, if you wanna have a look. Yes, Craig. Craig's saying that we used to do that in PE. I'll see if I can get your comment up, Craig. 1 second. Yeah, look, Craig's saying we used to do that in PE. Craig, we used to as well, mate. When I was really young, in the about 8, we used to hang on a sec. I'm getting myself all confused. Let me get rid of this one. Yeah, we used to do that at school too. We what am I saying? And some of us were quite good at it. We could do the kind of flick flacks over the horse. But we had to go. You have to do it in the Marines as well, early on in training, I believe. And talking of Marines, can I say hello to Jason Patterson in the chat? Hello, Jace. Really looking forward to this speed march with you, brother. Yeah, so it's going to be quite a special thing, and I never thought in my life I'd be doing the Royal Marines Commando test again.